One thing most guys do not understand, especially people who are in marriages, do not understand about women, is that a woman's love for you can easily turn to a passionate hatred for you. Why do you think that women who divorce their husbands, most times they end up trying their best to destroy that man? This man is the same man that some years ago they confessed to everyone who cared to listen that they are madly in love with this man and can do any single thing for him because of the love they have for this man. Now fast forward 1 year later, some months later, they are divorced. And this same woman who confessed that she can do anything for her man is now the one trying to destroy her man. Is now the one so spiteful against her man. Is now the one taking away the man's home through the law, because it happens. Go to Western countries, especially among black couples. You see a woman trying to destroy her husband, taking away the man's properties, turning the children against the man. This is one of the reasons why a lot of divorced men are committing suicide today, because their wives turned their children or his children against him. The woman manipulated the children who are young and very impressionable, especially from their mom. She turned these children against their father. And a man, one of the things that makes a man is his children. And one of the most, if not the most, in fact, the most prized asset a man can boldly tell himself, I have, is his kids. It's his kids. A man who has all the money on this earth, and yet his children see him as the enemy, will never be happy with himself. So one of the tools which women use in fighting their husband who they have divorced is the children. They use the children as a tool of warfare. You see a woman manipulating her children into hating their father. And now the father feels, obviously, he feels empty and defeated, because a situation whereby your children now hate you, or because their mom manipulated them into believing certain things which are obviously lies. Most men, because we now live in a world that encourages men to be feminine, to be weak, most men could easily, due to the fact that they cannot control their emotions as weak men, because these days majority of men are weak, especially in the Western societies, in the Western countries. These men cannot handle their emotions, so they go the easy route, because I see it as the easy route. When you cannot handle the stress and the hardship of life, you simply end it. So these men go the easy route and take their life. This is one of the reasons why a lot of men who were married and got divorced are committing suicide, because their wives took everything from them, and the worst of all, turned the children against the man. And these children, you cannot really blame them. They are young, and most likely they are closer to the mom. That is why I always tell men, as a man, as a father, one of the best things you can do for yourself, I know that the life of a man is very hectic, very demanding, and very time consuming, especially when you talk about a man who is ambitious, who is always focused on his purpose. But one of the best things any man can do for himself and for his children is to try his best to forge a very solid relationship with his children. Because obviously, you do not know the kind of woman you are married to. At some point, this woman could easily manipulate these children against you. So like I said, one of the best things you can do for yourself is forging a solid relationship with your children. Because like it or not, the woman you married today that loves you so passionately, that love could easily turn to hate. See, when you compare men and women are extremely emotional. And one thing about someone who is emotional is that when they are doing something that involves emotion, it also involves deep passion. A woman who loves you so dearly today, a woman who cares about you, a woman who can go to any extreme length because of her love for you, if by eventuality that love grows sour, she's going to use that same passion and that same extreme emotion to fight you. And as you all know, women are very spiteful. Women are very spiteful, especially when you've hurt them as a man. And if we are being honest with ourselves, one of the highest causes of divorces in the United States or in these Western countries, in fact, all around, it's not even about Western countries, all around is infidelity from the men. Now, like I've always said, majority of women can't come to the fact that it is a man's nature to be polygamous. It is a man's nature to be polygamous, just like how it is a women's nature to be hypergamous. Everybody has their own primal nature. Go back 2,000 years ago, women always wanted the guys who were financially better than them, who had much more societal value than them, who were smarter, who were mentally capable, much more capable than them. Whereas men always wanted many women. Men always wanted as much women as possible. That is why over the years, men always had more women. Sorry, men always had more than one woman in their homes. And you all know the truth is, monogamy is something that came as of recent. Because this world is over 6,000 years old. And monogamy came up around 1,000 years ago. Now, why did monogamy come into place? It's simple. Because of the reforms in the financial structures of the world. Back then, using the Nigerian context, go back to the 1800s. Nigeria's economy was based, there was nothing like Nigeria back then. But we all know that what majority of men were involved in was agriculture. Now, a man who had a large family, a man who had many wives and good number of children, tends to be richer than those who had smaller families. Back then, polygamy was favored by the economy of those days because it was all hinged on agriculture. Now, a man who had a large family had the manpower to cultivate and till as much land as possible, instead of you going out to hire people. That is why even some of our great-grandfathers, they married 7 wives. Some of our grandfathers were polygamous. Some of our grandfathers were polygamous. Even some of us, our fathers, are polygamous. It was recently, starting from our own fathers, that we started embracing monogamy. Most of you, your grandfathers had many wives. So you cannot deny the fact that one of the things which made men start embracing monogamy is the way the economical structure and the financial structure of the new world was reformed. Now, you cannot be working a corporate job and say that you want to become polygamous. No. The economy of today's world, where majority of the works or the professions are based on corporate structures, where everything is basically done to keep you as an average earner, because that's the truth. The financial structure of today's world is done to keep everyone employed, is done to keep everyone as an average earner, which basically limits your finances. And you cannot be someone who is earning an average salary and say that you want to go and marry many wives. You can't. That would be financial suicide for you, and you putting yourself in problems. Now, polygamy also has another problem, which is the fact that you tend to have commotions every day. That's a fact. But someone who is rich can easily afford polygamy. Now, I'm not saying as a rich person you should go and enter polygamy. I'm just saying that this is man's nature. Men are polygamous, whereas women are hypergamous. Women happily express their own nature because these days every woman wants a man who out-earns her. That is the truth. That is why these days, being a broke person is very, very disadvantageous, because majority of the girls won't even look at you, because all the girls are looking at the guys up there. That's why these days, as if 80% of the girls are after the 20% of the highest male earners, while the remaining 80% of guys are left to share this remaining 20% of women who are obviously low quality. Because all the girls who are beautiful, all the girls who feel that, I'm beautiful enough, I have a nice body, they are after these guys who are at the top. So what I was saying in essence is the fact that a woman's love for you could easily turn into hate, because women are extremely spiteful. Extremely spiteful. So as a man, you should know the kind of woman you are going into a relationship with. As a man, you should know the kind of woman you are about to marry. If a woman tends to be very spiteful, if she has this tendency to be spiteful, I think it's better you avoid her. Because this same woman, if she eventually hates you tomorrow, if her love for you eventually turns to hate tomorrow, this woman will try her best to destroy you. Now, she's not doing it based on logic. No, she's doing it out of emotions. She's doing it out of emotions. And a woman who is doing anything out of extreme emotion just to spite you is extremely dangerous. So you should know the kind of woman you are getting involved with, because not all women will take it easy on you if they grow out of love for you. That's basically it. So you should know the kind of woman you are getting yourself involved with, because women could be terrible. Majority of men today who have their lives in shambles, it was all caused by a woman they once called their lovely wedded wife. That's the truth. Majority of the men who were once doing well for themselves, some of them, what destroyed them was the same wife they married with their money. Some of the men who are 6 feet in their grave today, what destroyed them was the same woman they married. So mind the kind of woman you are married. Know the kind of woman you are married. Know what she can do if she grows out of love with you one day. If she grows out of love for you one day. Because it's possible. It could happen. So, marriage is something you are doing for a lifetime. So you should know and investigate properly the kind of woman you are getting involved with. Because marriage is something that can make or mar you. And it's also something that can elevate you or put you in your grave. Because I've seen many men who died because of the wife they married. That's basically it, guys.